Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Play 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. And speaking of the 9th door, there it is. We are once again waiting to see if we can successfully figure out that Snake is in the, coffin next to us. I bet we can. Otherwise, the game would kind of end here. And this is not the true ending of the game. True ending of the game is not, and then they stood around and drowned. Somebody came up next to him. Pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed.
So, what do you want to do, Junpei?
Do you have Parcheesi?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do?
Someone opened his mouth to respond when... I wonder why Snake was quiet the whole time. A noise echoed through the room. Someone was pounding on something vigorously. It was certainly human. Junpei and Seven looked at one another.
What the hell is that?
Shh, quiet!
I motioned to Seven to be quiet. She pulled one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. I do like this screenshot of the bullet hole.
Where is it coming from?
Hey, he said where? Where's it coming from? You can't lie to me, game.
Could it be?
Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin.
It's Alice.
You're right.
Let's open it.
But how?
What are those muscles for? For show?
I mean, yeah, I play a strong guy on TV. Don't judge.
You're telling me to force it open?
I also think I don't blame her for saying, hey, try this. However, I do also have to say, like, when has anything in this nonary game been overcomable by force?
Just shut up and try!
Junpei and Seven grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find and pulled with all their strength.
Damn it!
Man, it won't even budge.
There's some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Well, no, you need to enter the sinister riddle. Their eyes were almost immediately drawn to it.
Another one?
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open?
Gee, you think, Clover? Come on. You're not a dumb girl.
I think so.
The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder.
Whoever or whatever's inside this thing wants out. And now.
I know that. But how?
Without a passcode, I don't think there's much we can do.
They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to
Isn't
be.
there a hint somewhere?
Well, let's look for one.
I don't know, we already checked the whole room. Fortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the pew, Seven investigated the desk. They turned up nothing.
There's nothing here.
Not making this easy, are they?
The sound still wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belonged in that room.
What's the passcode? What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
Check Clover's pocket. The world blinked. What? What do you mean the world blinked? Suddenly there's a voice inside of Junpei's head. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Okay, I think that's been said before, but I can't remember where. And now the truth is asleep in the darkness of the... Okay, yeah, that's Clover's poem. Now to sleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
Wait, what? What the hell was that? That voice?
Junpei was utterly completely baffled. Yeah, this is something that's never come up before. Is this supposed to be Alice? Like, the mythical undying priestess is, like, also psychokinetic? Actually, wait, that's being able to move things through your mind. Telepathic?
Huh? What?
What's up?
Seven and Clover ran over. Junpei didn't know what to tell them.
Huh?
If he told them he'd heard a voice, they'd or worse, think he was going insane. All he said was...
Nothing.
Oh, come on, man. You can at least lie better than that. Clears throat a little bit too loud and looked pointedly down at his bracelet. A pair of small buttons protruding from either side of it. Junpei. He pressed the buttons. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Is that it? That was it. Eight numbers blinked on and then off on the bracelet display. Should we check one last time? This is weird. Like, it makes sense when it's the note in Clover's pocket. Why?
4383421.
Why do we literally have Deus Ex Ancient Priestessa?
Huh?
Hey, what the hell were those numbers?
Oh my gosh. Are those...
Man, Junpei's gonna have himself killed. They're gonna think he's zero, because why did he just randomly know that? Junpei didn't answer. He simply walked straight to the coffin. He knelt down in front of the keypad, running over the numbers in his head so he wouldn't forget.
14383421. 14383421.
If you get to this ending without having done the safe end, actually no, wait, you can't, can you? Because you guys said that the safe ending was required to get here. With pretty finished, he punched them in. That was all of them. He punched the E button. There's a moment of complete silence. Then there was the sound of the coffin lid unlatching. Someone sat up out of it.
No way.
What?
Why are you...
I was waiting for Clover's reaction. I don't know, this seems stupid, I know, but it's just like a real feel-good moment for me that Clover gets to see her brother again.
Oh? Is that you, Clover? I apologize for worrying you. Snake!
You? Why?
Junpei? And Seven? Is that you? Is everyone else there as well?
Just like Rip Van Winkle. Still, it was very much like Snake simply cut to the heart of the matter and asked.
Jeez.
Junpei and Seven shared a wry smile. Clover's eyes were filled with tears.
You're back!
With a cry of joy, she leapt into Snake's arms.
Gently now. My body's still a little weak.
You're back!
Clover looked nothing so much like a lost child who had finally found her home. This is a really nice scene. I'm sorry. I just... You know, after the axe ending, I really want Clover to not go crazy. Her eyes were red, and her nose was running. She hiccuped and gasped as if she was about to begin hyperventilating.
You're back! You're really here!
Her voice was happy, but almost desperate. She feared he would disappear again if she stopped talking to him. Tear after tremendous tear rolled its way down her face. Her small arms strained as she clutched Snake's body as tightly as she could. Perhaps she had to convince herself he was real. Now she was worried he would be gone the moment she let go. Perhaps she simply didn't know what else to do.
You're back!
Come now, what's gotten into you? You're acting as though I've returned from the grave.
Well, gee, you did literally just come out of a coffin, man.
Not as though. You did. I really thought you were dead.
Huh?
You jerk! Idiot! Idiot! Idiot!
Okay, that's not really... Like, why are you calling him an idiot for getting locked in a coffin? He's like, I'm gonna go back to the coffin at this rate. Clover broke into sobs so great she could no longer talk. It was a touching reunion between brother and sister. Even though Junpei knew they had little time, and every minute they waited was a minute they wasted, it felt cruel to pull them apart. Junpei and Seven sat down on one of the pews, waiting for Clover to calm down before explaining to Snake what had transpired.
I see. I believe I understand things rather well now, thank you. In the shower room, there is a dead body wearing my clothes.
Well, body is stretching it a little bit.
Because of that, you thought that I was dead, correct?
You had quickly and neatly summarized the events of several hours.
You also discovered a corpse in the captain's quarters, and Santa turned on you here, in this room. Do I have it straight?
Well, the dead body in the captain's quarters is a surprise.
Sorry, there wasn't a good time to tell you.
Oh, I forgot that that's something we hadn't really
Don't worry
discussed.
about it.
Well then, I've got a pretty decent idea of what happened while I was indisposed, but it's still something of a mystery who did all this, and why. The corpse in the shower room that looked like me.
That is something that I've never really fully understood either. I mean, like, we know Zero did it in order to set up Ace, but oh, and actually no, we actually know exactly. I'm dumb. Ace did it in order to shut Snake up because Snake knew about Ace's history.
And the corpse in the captain's quarters.
That's the one that I don't really understand. I can't imagine this is just the captain of the ship, because how would you get a captain and no other crew?
Why were they killed in the way they were?
You don't know?
How would he know? He's been in a coffin.
No. Why would I?
The guy in the shower room. We don't know who he is, so let's just call him Mr. X.
That's what we did last time.
Anyway, this Mr. X is wearing Snake's clothes. But you're wearing some kind of weird robes. That means someone took your clothes and put them on Mr. X. We need to figure out who that was.
It was Zero.
I apologize, but I have no idea who might have done this to me. I only just now woke up.
Well, I do have to wonder, because Snake was talking about his physical prowess so effectively. Like, who would be able to overpower him and knock him out? Like, going through the list, Ace could probably do it given his general build, except that Ace would not set himself up. Snake obviously didn't do it to himself, or at least he's claiming he didn't. Santa probably didn't, because Santa only had the guts to get, like, domineering and demanding when he had a gun. Clover definitely didn't do it. I didn't do it. June seems unlikely, so Seven himself, or possibly Lotus. I'm not going to sexistly say that a woman couldn't have done it. And Lotus is taking some sort of like belly dancing classes, so she's probably reasonably athletic, but still, like, Snake seems the best option, except for the fact that Seven didn't know Snake was there, and Snake being there is kind of a key to everything.
I was unconscious during all the events you just described to me.
Someone did bring up something in the comments of the last video, though, that bears thinking about, because when Santa left, he did say "see ya," which could imply that Santa was aware that Snake was down there. So, Seven is my best guess from a physical standpoint, Santa from a plot standpoint.
They must have undressed me and changed my clothes during that time.
When were you knocked out?
When we split up to look for the red.
Where did they get you? Do you remember?
It was a small room in one of the hallways on C deck.
What happened?
The same thing that happened to every one of us when we were abducted. A canister releasing some sort of gas was thrown into the room.
Oh, well, that actually makes it so anyone could have done it pretty easily. You don't have to physically overpower Snake.
I believe the gas is some sort of incapacitating agent.
Then that means it was...
Zero.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that already from the other ending.
Looks that way, huh?
There's nothing else I have to tell you. When I woke up, I was in this coffin.
Junpei crossed his arms in thought.
Why? Why did Zero make Mr. X wear Snake's clothes?
I mean, I do have to question why they go down this route, because in order to get here, you already know the answer to these questions.
How would that benefit Zero? I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean? And I have no idea how I got the passcode for the coffin either. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Where did those words come from? Why did I feel compelled to push the buttons on the bracelet after hearing them?
Yeah, that is a very, very, very relevant question. my best guess is the priestess, because she's been coming up a lot in the game lately. But why is she randomly deciding to help Junpei out? And why is this kind of coming out of nowhere? Like, it feels like bad writing, except for the fact that they're lampshading it. So they're acknowledging that the answers will presumably come. So now, while they waited for Clover to finish crying, he had no answer, and from then he still didn't.
All I know is my fingers moved on their own. It was like I did it subconsciously. I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean?
His mind was a maelstrom of mysteries, clues, theories, and more mysteries. He could barely think. In all honesty, actually, based on the way those bracelets were set up, if it's just like right, left, right, left, right, left, people could do that, just kind of fidgeting with it. You know, when you first got it, you probably tried to press the buttons to get it off, and like that's not a very secure code. If it was like left, right, right, left, left, right, or something, it'd be much less likely people just randomly come across it.
Also, Snake and Clover had been subjects in a similar experiment 9 years ago.
That is true.
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
Well, that's an interesting throwback, because from the other ending, from the safe ending, Junpei realized the actual code from the paper in Clover's pocket. Or actually, no, the paper from the safe. This is not time I'm saying it's in Clover's pocket. No, Clover's pocket contains the code to get into the safe. Does it? I can't remember. What was in the safe? Because I remembered it was the same code. No, it was the same code to get to both safe and this thing. So never mind, I'm dumb. But is it possible that not only is the morphogenetic field allowing you to tune into information that is known by others, but is it possible that Junpei was receiving his own thoughts from the other timeline, the one where Clover died, and he figured it out himself? Because it seems odd that the morphogenetic field would let him get the clue that Clover read when Clover wasn't thinking about it, but in the safe ending, obviously, Junpei would very much be thinking about it in this place on this ship. So is that what they're trying to get to? Not only is the morphogenetic field allowing you to gain information if the general populace has it, but it actually allows thoughts to travel between realities?
And someone did actually die. A girl. Her name was...
Dun dun dun!
Experiment conducted on this same ship 9 years ago, and a girl had died during it. Morphogenetic field theory. The 2 murders. Switching clothes. The nonary game.
These are all things in this game. Whatever strange thing was happening to Junpei himself. The instrument in his head spat out words and ideas that disappeared back into it almost as soon as he grasped them. But as he struggled through them, Junpei began to realize something. There was something that tied all of them together. At the point connecting the dots.
0.
I mean, 0 ties a lot of it together, but not necessarily the morphogenetic field theory. That seems to have nothing to do with him. But the other ones, all absolutely.
He's the ringleader. The person who trapped 9 of us on this sinking ship.
Well, yeah, that's not really an epiphany, though. We knew that from the first episode.
0 should know everything. If we can uncover 0's identity, all of our questions will be answered.
Only if he'll talk. Who was 0? Should we have the beginnings of a theory? If you only test it. I mean, right now, Santa's the obvious choice. Or perhaps...
At any rate, we'll have plenty of time to decipher the details later. For now, it is of utmost importance that we escape.
Absolutely. Because we now with Snake, our 7 becomes 9.
Junpei, it was 4:30 the last time you checked the clock, yes? That means we have less than an hour. We must hurry.
Hey, how are we gonna get out of here?
Isn't that obvious? Through the other number 9 door.
Yeah, it's,
Oh yeah, you're right. With Snake, we can open the door.
absolutely. That's why we need him to come out.
Don't tell me you hadn't figured that out.
As they snipe back and forth, Junpei glances at Snake's left hand. He's wearing a bracelet with a 2
Come
on
on,
it.
you gotta tell me these things.
I, assumed you'd figured it out.
Forget it. Let's just get going.
Yeah, let's not. We just talked about the importance of time. Don't sit here and, like, gobblegook. 7 stomped off to the smaller number 9 door. Clover, Snake, and Junpei followed. 7 quickly laid his hand on the red, and an asterisk appeared on the screen. Junpei and the others followed suit and laid their hands on the scanner panel. That's clever, because they showed Snake's hand with just his, like, arm. That way they didn't have to change it, like, redraw one for when he was wearing robes versus when he was wearing his other outfit. So glanced at him and laid his hand on the lever of the red.
All right, you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Junpei paused for a moment.
Not yet.
Huh?
Before we go in, I'd like to check something.
You want to check something?
Yeah, but before I do, 7, could you pull the lever? I want to make sure we can verify with just the 4 of us.
What do you mean? We don't need...
Just do it, alright? But if the door opens, don't go in yet, okay?
Well, I mean, it's going to open.
Please, this is really important. I really need to check this, okay? Work with me here.
Junpei looked directly in Seven's eyes. The older man looked back for a moment and then nodded.
Fine.
Has he figured out that the other bracelet is in? Seven pulled the lever and the line creaked open. Then they waited. 6, 7, 8. For 9 seconds, the door closed.
Alright, that means the 4 of us can go into door 9.
We knew that.
We knew that already. It's obvious.
Obvious. Yeah, you're right. It is. Now, what happens if we add Zero's bracelet?
What?
Zero's bracelet?
Why don't you take it out, Clover?
For a moment, Clover looked surprised, but she recovered quickly and stuck her tongue out at Junpei. That's what I figured he was testing, as soon as he said he had to test something.
So you did know I had it. I picked it up because I thought it might be useful sometime.
She reached into one of the pockets for Volodymyr's jacket and produced the bracelet. June took it from her. Junpei took it and turned it at 7.
This was on the left hand of the corpse in the captain's quarters. If you look at it, you can see it's got a 0 on the face. Just to make this a little easier to talk about, I'm gonna call the guy we found dead in the captain's quarters, Cap. Then I should be able to open door 9 with just me, Clover, and his bracelet. Though the big question is, if Cap is the mastermind of this game, would he really put one of these bracelets on? Anyway, let's just give it a shot. Clover, give me your hand.
Okay.
Now the captain's bracelet. And pull the lever.
The door didn't open. Red's display read error.
I knew it. Now, what does this tell us?
That you can't kill Zero and go through doors?
Maybe the bracelet has to be on your wrist in order for it to work?
No, that's impossible. Did you see how the panel showed a 3rd asterisk when I scanned Cap's bracelet? Whether or not it's on your wrist doesn't matter. All you have to do is put the bracelet near the panel for it to register.
7 waved his bracelet in front of the scanner's panel. Sure enough, a single asterisk appeared on the red.
Huh. Looks like you're right.
See? So what does that mean? There's only one possibility.
There's actually 2. It could be rigged that, because Zero knew he wouldn't be going through any doors, so if you try and use Zero's bracelet, it won't let you open. But we all know that's not really where this is going.
That bracelet isn't the number 0. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Then what number is it?
Let's find out.
Scan the bracelet with this combination.
Let's try Snake, Clover, 7, and Cap.
I don't remember what it is, I'm just going to try.
If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 5.
Wasn't it number 6 last time?
It didn't open.
So it's not 5.
How about...
Okay, so we know it needs to be 6, so we need to add up to 3 without it. I am pretty sure it was 6 last time, so Snake and Junpei is 7. Plus 7 is 14, plus Cap is 20. 7 plus Junpei is 12. Plus Cap is 18.
Let's try 7, me, and Cap. If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Awesome.
Hey, it opened! The door opened!
What? Why? What does that mean?
We literally just said what it meant, Clover. Sam and Clover seemed rather shaken as they turned to look at Junpei for answers. The door slid heavily shut. Junpei raised
Isn't
an
it
eyebrow.
obvious? Cap's bracelet is number 6.
But doesn't it say 0?
It does say 0. I'm also curious if that means anything regarding June, because June is also number 6.
This isn't a 0.
Although at the same time, I find it very unlikely that June is 0, but she left a massive clue as to her identity on the corpse of the dead guy.
The symbol on here isn't a number 0. It's a letter O.
Oh, I guess that's possible.
Oh.
Oh, is this because the whole I guess that might be true if you do the whole hexadecimal but you extend it out to a O?
Whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it.
Oh, actually, yeah, we even had to figure out what its digital root was because of the O and 0, didn't we?
I mean, we figured out that Cap's bracelet is 6, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean there are 2 people with 6s?
Before Junpei could answer, Snake spoke up.
There is most likely only one person with a 6.
Wait, why would you say that, Snake?
But I don't get it. What about June?
Like, we know June has a 6 because she's gone through doors.
Well, this is only an educated guess, but I think June's number was never 6 to begin with.
Why in the world would you ever think that?
Her bracelet was flipped.
So, but then what about the 9th man? You think she was a 9 the entire time, and so was just adding on? But even then, that doesn't make sense because you needed her to be a 6 to get through these doors, and she's always successfully gotten through the doors. Snake, you're dumb.
In other words, June's real number is...
9.
That seems the most likely.
That's completely implausible. They just went through the 9th door on the other side with Lotus and Lotus and Ace and Santa and June. If June was actually 9, that would add up to 21 and it wouldn't open.
Then all this numbered door stuff was just a load of crap?
Why would you say that?
Because if June is 9, then the numbers wouldn't match up.
Thank you, Clover. Clover went back to being smart. Clover had Junpei's notebook and began to write furiously
Here,
in it.
look.
List of all the numbered doors June's gone through.
Damn, Clover's got a good memory.
I'll let you know what I'm writing, okay, Snake? And that's everything.
Oh, I didn't know she would voice act it. So yeah, 6 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8 is 22, which is 2 plus 2, which is 4. And yeah, if that was actually a 9, it would consistently move it up by 3.
I wrote down which door she went into and with whom. And I wrote what all the numbers were.
Huh.
So if you switch 9 and wherever there's a 6, the numbers don't work. If the digital root is 7, then you can't open door 4.
Okay. So here's what I'm noticing. Actually, I wish I could go back. consistently, those all started with 6 plus 3. So June actually went through every single door with Santa, which I wouldn't necessarily think anything of, except for the fact that, remember the last episode whenever Santa was going through that door, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why would he object to leaving one person behind when he could have objected, and instead his goal was to leave 3 people behind? And there's only 2 real explanations. One of the ones I offered at the time was that Santa is actually really, really protective of June for some reason. And the fact that we're now seeing that Santa will not go through a door unless June is also going through it kind of supports that theory. The other side of it is that if only one person had been left, then that person and Snake could not have gone through a door. So Santa may legitimately actually be 0 and is trying to save everyone.
If the digital root is 2, then you can't open door 8.
Clover, do you notice anything interesting on that list?
What do you mean?
You're talking about 3, right?
Yep, okay. Hey, I noticed it too.
3?
Santa's always in the room with her. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
What about it?
I do have to almost want to go back and check in every single timeline. Does Santa always go with June?
That's quite simple, really. You told me that the first time you came to this room, Santa was the first to refuse to leave June behind.
Yep, that I also thought about that yesterday when I made my little, maybe he's just trying to protect June.
Now, doesn't that beg the question why? Why would Santa do such a thing? The answer is easy. Because Santa can't open door 9 with only 7 and Lotus. Of course, there's only one reason for that. His number isn't actually 3.
What, you think he's actually a 9 as well?
Santa's real number, 7? Would you be so kind as to modify my sister's equations?
Yeah, sure.
7 took a spin from a confused Clover and began to adjust her calculations.
This is what you were getting at, right, Snake?
He read out the changes he made. When he finished, he looked at Snake.
Thank you. That is exactly right, 7.
So Santa is actually 0, and June is actually the 9th man? In which case, what happened? How is the 9th man a thing?
Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
No way.
Interesting, because, yeah, 9 doesn't change an equation and 0 doesn't change an equation. So as long as they stay together, they can write off the other people in order to get through the doors.
Santa is 0?
And June was 9, not 6. Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3.
Yes, okay, that makes a degree of sense. Although I don't know how the 9th man fits into all this.
Plus 3 and minus 3, they cancel one another out. Nothing appears out of order.
Santa was still playing by the rules of the nonary game this whole time.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no point in having rules if you're going to break them.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
I'm not sure if he acted alone or not. But I think it is safe to conclude that he is 0.
That is interesting. I wouldn't have actually pegged him up until very recently. Obviously, last episode when he pulled the gun, it's kind of obvious to think that he might be 0, but they definitely successfully kept it from me up until then, so well done, game, well done.
If my hypothesis is correct.
Clover bit her lip. She seemed to be having some difficulty believing her brother's explanation. Junpei. Junpei remained silent and thought.
Snake's hypothesis. Something doesn't seem right.
It seems pretty ironclad, except for, again, the 9th man.
His bracelet being flipped. Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets.
Yep, absolutely.
If that's the case?
All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
I agree, and we will go through that door in the next episode. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Let's go confront ourselves as 0.